Hi there. So I'm going to make a short video of what to do when you get your flowers. Most of you have a utility vase like this. I fill it up usually 3/4 of the way or even a little higher just because the stems will make the water line rise. You're going to get flower food. I usually use like a dime size so that I can have some throughout the week or weeks. The flowers that you're getting today were from my local wholesaler. So last week, if you got flowers, they were from local farms. This week, most of them are from my local wholesaler. So I got peonies from them. They might have gotten those from local farms. So again, these are peonies. We have Gerber daisies. So this is a mini and this is a spider. These most likely came from Canada. We have Leatris. A lot of these will come from Ecuador, South America. No, not those yet. Roses, definitely Ecuador. These are so pretty. I think they're called blueberries. Carnations. I usually don't like carnations, but these are beautiful because they are novelty and they have that speck in them. Very pretty. Looks like it's painted almost. And then I did go to a local farm. Still trying to help local farms out. So this is Veronica. We have Lady's Mantle and Feverfew. So these are what I consider filler flowers. These are spike flowers. These are going to be your focal flowers, usually big and round. And then these are usually your accent flowers. We also have some greenery. So when you get your greenery, I usually start with the greenery to kind of give you that shape. The other thing is you just don't want to put the stems straight up and down. You want to put them in at angles so that you can create this kind of grid or armature, as we call it. So that when you go ahead and start to put your flowers in, they don't fall all the way in. Oh, I also wanted to show you something else. If you were designing with a short vase, because some of you may have short vases, it's going to be a little bit of a different design because this is going to be more linear and this will probably be more round. But it's almost the same concept. Just when you have short vases, what's easy is wherever you want the flower head to be. So let's say you want this peony to stick that far out. You cut the stem right at the bottom of that vase. So usually I put the vase on the counter and I say, oh, I want it to be this height, and I cut it right where the vase meets the counter, and that's usually really good because I know a lot of people will cut things 3 or 4 times. So we always cut things before we put them in the vase, right? Because they've been sitting, even if they're in water, it's always good to give them a new cut before they go into the nice lukewarm water with flower food. So you might be getting greenery that are on stems and they have these laterals. You could leave it on or you can take them off the side shoots, whatever you want to do. But usually you don't want to have any greenery under the water line. So no greenery past this line because that's going to cause bacteria. So I'm going to just cut. So see how I put that in on an angle? These are all different types of eucalyptus. And listen, you can just take that greenery off with your fingers so it doesn't get in the bottom of the vase. Give it a fresh cut. So what I'm doing right now, because I have 4 pieces of greenery after I kind of cut it all up, I'm doing one green, like an X. Yeah, like an X is good. And then this kind of gives me my shape. And that little grid that I talked about. All right, so the next thing I'm going to use my filler flowers because again, that's going to give me my grid that I need. So I'm going to start with the Feverfew. Here, what I'm going to do, I have 3 stems. So usually in design, you want to deal with odds. Sometimes you don't, but most of the times you want to deal with odds. So with 3 stems, you want to make a triangle. they can be at different heights because you don't want one here at this height, one here at this height, one here at this height. You kind of want them to be gradual. So this right now, this bottom of the stem is hitting the counter, which is at the bottom of the vase. So that's as tall as it's going to be. So I'm going to give it a little snip. I'm going to put it in on an angle and have it hang out. So it's not going straight down. It's going in at an angle and it's hanging out the side of the vase. So now I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter than that one and put it over here, keeping my triangle again out the side of the vase. And this one's going to be the shortest. So here's my triangle. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now, if you can visualize that, then you're kind of good because now we're just going to do triangles. So here's 3 more filler flowers, the lady's mantle. I'm going to do the same exact thing. Cut them at 3 different angles, sizes, heights, put them in an angle. Now, these triangles are going to go in between the triangles you just made with the feverfew. If you had 4 pieces, then one would go in the middle. All right, so this is what that's looking like. So now we have a vase all the way around. Okay, so what I would do next is put in your focal flowers. They have short stems, so just give them a snip. We're going to do I have 3 of those, so we're going to do triangle as well. I'm kind of picking a triangle that's kind of between the feverfew and the lady's mantle on an angle. All right, now I want to do my spiky flowers because this is going to help me with my grid. All right, so here's the spiky flowers. I like the spiky flowers to go nice and tall. I like them to go right in the middle, but you don't want them to be the same size and you don't want them to be antlers, right? So I usually do one a little lower, one a little higher, and kind of let them do their thing. Let's finish with the focal flowers now that there's more of a grid. These are a little taller, so I'm hoping that I can just have them kind of in the middle, but they're gonna, you know, they're gonna move. Things are gonna move until you have a really good grid. Here's spikies. Again, I only have 2. I do want these to come out to the side because I don't have any spikes that are going out to the side right now. All right, my roses. So I have 3 roses, right? So we're going to do a triangle. They're long, so let's keep them long. So 1, 2, and you can see as you start this, now you can see your layers, right? You can see how your greenery started, your filler started, and then your focal flowers, and now we're kind of filling in. I'm going to end with your carnations, and at this point, you just kind of fill in where you think you need something. And you'll see now you have a really good grid, so things are going to stay. I know, I'm sure I went quick. I just didn't want it to be a really long video. This is what you end up with. Isn't that beautiful? This is your typical $50 wrapped bouquet. You know, last week you got a little bit more flowers because some of the farm flowers are less expensive. This week roses are expensive, peonies are expensive, but I wanted you to see the different types of flowers, to see how expensive, how many you can get for the money. Like last week, I think your bouquets might have been a little bit more than this, maybe double, with the amount of flowers. Because this week, again, I used a little bit pricier flowers, but I just wanted you guys to get an idea of all the different types of flowers, where they come from, how much they are, how they grow, because you're going to see this carnation open, you're going to see the peonies open, you're going to see the roses open, and then I did some deeper colors because it's summer and why not? All right, enjoy guys, thanks.